Press a button on your phone and a song starts in total digital silence. But drop a dusty diamond needle onto a spinning piece of plastic and you get friction. You hear a physical scrape before music begins. We live in an era where nearly every track ever recorded is available immediately for free. Yet millions of people deliberately choose to pay a premium for physical media. They invest heavily in 12-inch discs that are incredibly fragile, entirely stationary, and require dedicated, bulky machinery taking up significant space in their homes just to function. Search a tag like "now spinning on vinyl" on social media, and you will find a massive subculture dedicating entire rooms to these inconvenient objects. This is a highly active, expanding cultural movement. If streaming applications give you flawless, instant audio without the physical burden, what exact acoustic or emotional gap is that heavy piece of plastic actually filling? The resurgence of classic rock on physical formats does not signal a rejection of technology. Instead, modern listeners are actively seeking out a deeply tangible connection that a purely digital stream completely fails to provide. Psychologists use the term active listening to describe the difference between hearing music as background noise and engaging with it as a primary task. To play an analog record, you must be physically present. You carefully place it on a spinning platter and manually position the tone arm. Because you commit to this physical ritual, your brain naturally prioritizes the audio over infinite digital distractions. Consider an artist like Rod Stewart. His classic solo albums were engineered for this precise delivery system, locking his energy to the physical object. Audio engineers in the 1970s and 80s manipulated their master tapes to fit physical constraints. Low bass frequencies take up wide physical space, so engineers actively equalized tracks to ensure the needle wouldn't literally bounce out of the plastic path. Looking at this cross-section diagram, we see the stark difference between a digital waveform and a physical groove. The frequency response of an entire generation of music was permanently shaped by the limitations of that plastic wall. Spinning one of those albums today is an act of acoustic recreation. You are physically reproducing the exact mechanical vibrations those artists originally designed for the format. But analog audio is rarely flawless. Over time, that physical plastic gathers dust, develops scratches, and introduces prominent pops and crackles into the music. Modern digital systems constantly try to interpret these aging physical recordings. In a recent video upload featuring an 80s rock classic, the auto-generated transcript struggled entirely with the degraded audio. The actual romantic lyric is supposed to be, "You'll be my breath should I grow old," but the algorithm completely misinterprets the analog signal, spitting out the text, "In my breath should I grow on my best friend." That machine error perfectly illustrates how human memory works. When we look back, we rarely access a perfectly preserved, lossless file of the past. People often describe the sound of vinyl as warm. That warmth is quite literally acoustic degradation. The physical wear and tear on the disc over decades adds a layer of character that listeners actively seek out. This diagram illustrates a degraded audio signal. When the physical sound drops out or crackles, your brain actively fills in those missing pieces, bridging the gaps. Listening to a worn record becomes a participatory act, where you continually rebuild the song in your mind. Nostalgia functions the exact same way. It is an emotional reconstruction of events, rather than flawless recall. The way we remember the past closely matches the physical reconstruction of sound by the needle. The flaws inherent to vinyl end up functioning as its strongest asset. The persistent crackles are a physical manifestation of time passing, mapping perfectly on how our own memories degrade and adapt. Scroll through the thousands of posts tagged with "now spinning on vinyl" online, and a clear pattern emerges. These uploads act as public declarations of physical existence, documenting a tangible archive of history. We store most of our lives in invisible digital spaces, where files can be deleted or altered without a trace. A heavy cardboard sleeve provides a profound psychological comfort of permanence. A spinning record operates as a literal time machine. It is a physical artifact that forces the listener to sit down and anchor themselves to a specific emotional state from the 1980s. The affection listeners feel extends past the romantic lyrics directly to the object itself. They are preserving the human face and the specific era bound up in that plastic disc. The mechanics of pure rock nostalgia require active participation. To feel the weight of history, you have to hold it in your hands, proving that true connection still relies on a physical act.